Hello, Internet. It is I, Malik Aaron. Welcome back to my holiday 2019 box office predictions. And today we're going to be talking about Bombshell, the latest Oscar bait movie, because we clearly don't have enough of these in the market already. And the funny thing is, this isn't even the last one coming out this year. We still got Little Women and we still got Uncut Gems coming out on Christmas Day. So there's that. Anywho, we're going to go over the pros and cons of Bombshell. So let's get right to it. Pros, the cast. Our three leading ladies here: Charlize Theron, Nicole Kidman, and Margot Robbie. Now we're going to go over each of them individually, each of their little resumes, or at least the highlights of their careers. So first off, we got Charlize Theron. You may know her as Furiosa from Mad Max Fury Road. Excellent movie. You also may know her for a role in Atomic Blonde. Again, really good movie. And she also won an Oscar in 2003 for the movie Monster. So she definitely has some cred. Next up, we got Nicole Kidman, who was in Batman Forever. She was in a relationship with Tom Cruise, which led to, I think it was two movies, Far and Away and Eyes Wide Shut. Stanley Kubrick's last ever movie before he died. And I think she won or got nominated for an Oscar, I forget, for her role in Moulin Rouge, if you remember that. And she was also in the hit show Big Little Lies on HBO. So she has credibility too. And then last but certainly not least, Margot Robbie. You know, she was introduced to the masses in Wolf of Wall Street. She's Harley Quinn in the DCU with Suicide Squad and the upcoming Birds of Prey. She got nominated for an Oscar for I, Tonya. You know, all three women here have cred. All of them do. You can't deny that. Like, all three of these ladies, they got talent. That's a fact. So that's definitely a pro for this movie. Another pro is its limited release. Now, usually I don't go over limited releases because sometimes I don't know how many theaters they're going to play in. I don't know if it's going to go super wide or just modest wide. This one's going wide enough that I can talk about it. But, like, it had its limited release last week, opened in about 4 theaters. Had a decent per theater average of about 90,000, which is good. Not the greatest ever. There are movies that have done better than that, but it's still very solid. That's the type of headline you want. You want a high per theater average, because if you do, more eyeballs are going to be looking at your movie. Be like, oh wow, this movie's getting a lot of coverage. This movie's getting some headlines. I might be interested in checking that out. And that's how it works with a lot of awards movies. That's how they make that money. You know, you open it very small in like 3, 4, 5 theaters, get a big per theater average. The movie gets more attention, then they expand, go wide, and then they make more money, and then they win awards, and then boom. There you go. That's the formula. So Bombshell at least has a good opening weekend per theater average. So there's that. And another pro, I think, is, other than Little Women, I don't think there's any real direct competition with this movie, because plenty of the awards movies the past few months, you know, like, I don't know, Jojo Rabbit, Parasite, Joker, Lighthouse, Queen Slim, they're all kind of played out by now. And I mean, I know that Richard Jewell came out last weekend, but nobody saw it, so that won't be an issue for Bombshell. All it has to really deal with is Little Women, and that's it. So the lack of direct competition is also a pro for Bombshell. Let's get to the cons. The reviews for Bombshell are not great. Not great at all. It's like at a 61 last I checked, which for an awards movie is low. Ridiculously low. Ideally, you want your movie to have a very high score, like in the 80s or like the 90s. You don't want to be in the low 60s. That looks bad. Granted, Joker is in the 60s and it's probably going to win some awards. That's because Joker was a fantastic movie that a lot of people embraced. I don't know if the same's gonna happen with Bombshell. I highly doubt it. But yeah, the reviews are not really gonna help Bombshell here. Another con is the story itself could be a bit of a turnoff for the mainstream audience. And although I did look it up, this movie was announced in like May of 2017, like a good 4 months before Me Too even became a thing, right? But it's still mostly about Me Too, sexual harassment. I think we can all agree sexual harassment is bad, no matter what. It's just something you should never do. But I don't know if people are gonna want to pay to see a movie about sexual harassment. That doesn't seem like the most appealing subject matter. Because most people go to the movies to escape the real world, like all the terrible things in the real world. They go to the movies to escape, to be like in a fantasy world, with fantasy characters, and like all the crap they gotta deal with just goes away for 2 hours. I don't think people want to be reminded of the Me Too movement and sexual harassment. I just don't see a massive amount of appeal for that. I just don't. And especially like during Christmas time, because nothing screams like a Christmas movie than a movie about sexual harassment, right? Of course not. It doesn't really fit. Granted, Wolf of Wall Street, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Django Unchained, none of those fit with the holiday, and they still made money, so who knows? Who knows? But yeah, I think the whole Me Too thing might turn off some people because some people don't want to be reminded of that stuff. They just don't. Which is understandable. I don't like being reminded of real world stuff either when I'm watching movies. What else? What else? What other cons? I mean, its release isn't that wide. It's like in 1,450 theaters last I checked. So it's not super wide. It's not like 2,000 or 3,000. Probably because like all the screens are going to Star Wars and Jumanji and Cats, I think. But yeah, don't expect a huge opening weekend for Bombshell. Just don't. It's not going to happen. So yeah, overall, opening weekend, I'm going to be generous. Because of its small amount of theaters, because of the cast, because of everything I just said, I think it'll open around 5 million, maybe a bit higher than that. But for right now, I'm just gonna say 5. And overall, who knows? It's total. I don't know. Christmas is historically wonky when it comes to movies and their box offices. It gets real crazy. So I'm going to say 5 million opening weekend and 35 million or 30 to 35 million total. They'll have a decent multiple, about 7. Because the Christmas legs will help, and along with awards. If it gets major awards, it will definitely help. But yeah, 5 million opening weekend, 30 to 35 million total, and that's that. So that's Bombshell. Oh, I forgot to mention this. You're going to think I'm lying, but I'm not. The director of this movie, I looked this up. It's real. This is the same dude who made the Austin Powers trilogy. I know, it's crazy, but it's true. I looked it up. He made the Austin Powers trilogy. He made the first 2. He made, like, what was it? Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers. He did The Campaign and Sisters, and I'm just like, wow, I did not expect that. Just like I didn't expect Todd Phillips, the man who directed the Hangover trilogy and Old School, to direct Joker. No one expected that. So, yeah, it's really weird. Just thought you'd know that. All right, so what's next? What is next for me? Oh my God. Cats. Oh man, I cannot wait. I'm so excited to talk about Cats. That's going to be hilarious. And even more hilarious is going to be Rise of Skywalker, because I saw the reviews for both, and whew, it's going to be an interesting weekend, I'll tell you that. Will it be a good weekend? I don't think so, but it'll at least be entertaining. And then after those two, we got Little Women, Spies in Disguise, and Uncut Gems will be coming out on Christmas too. I'll cover those on a later date when we're getting closer to Christmas. And that's the end of 2019. It's done. Ever since I started doing this like in late April. No, it was like March something. Yeah, March. I've covered a lot. I covered a lot of movies. All bunch of movies this year. We've had some highs and we've definitely had some lows. But it's been real interesting. And if this channel survives in 2020, I don't know about that. Maybe I'll just make a new channel just based off box office predictions by themselves. I could do that. And, I wouldn't have a problem with that because I like doing this. And yeah, 2020 is going to be an interesting year too. It's not going to be as big as other years, but it will be interesting. So yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment. You want to check out some of my other predictions I've made. I have a holiday 2019 prediction playlist. You can go look at that. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out.